Hey, how you doing? Welcome back to my channel. It's another Q&A where I'm going to take your questions and comments from my previous videos and go into a little bit more detail with a few of them. So if you've got any questions that you want answered, just leave them below and I'll definitely get back to you in the comments section. And if a few people ask the same question, or if I really like the question, then I'll just make it into a video like this one. So today, my first question is from a friend, Will Ducos. He's actually a supporter of the channel, has been for a long time now. And he's saying, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on the benefits of regular exercise. So I want to answer this really from the perspective of a martial arts coach and of my time spent coaching in full-time martial arts schools. So in the context of a coach looking at a beginner, how often would you recommend a beginner to train? And in my opinion, you should be training at least twice a week as a beginner. 3 times is usually better. Something like, Monday, Wednesday, Friday and the weekend off, or, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, something like that, where you're having time to recover and then train hard again, and improve your strength, your stamina, work on your skills, while constantly improving technique whilst improving your other attributes. The reason I recommend 2 or 3 sessions and not just 1 for a beginner, some people think, well, I'm not very fit, I've not done XYZ sport before, or I've never done martial arts in my past, so maybe just once a week, and then when I get fit or when I get a bit better, I'll up it to 2. Well, in my years teaching, 17 years coaching and 24 years training, I've seen that through and through, people who train twice a week compared to people who train only once a week make more than double the progress. So you're investing double the time per week, but you're getting more than twice the feedback. You're getting more than twice the results for your training. Now, this is true right the way from the youngest classes. We would take people 4 years old through to, 64, 74. So it doesn't really matter which age throughout, your younger kids, your older kids, teenagers, adults. For beginners, twice a week. 3 times a week, is roughly, with beginners, can be about the same type of benefits. So maybe you could, instead of having, if you're forcing an extra martial arts session, it might be a bit easier for you to instead do, a barbell session, work on strength training at the same time, maybe do martial arts, and then the next day do a strength and conditioning day. Next day, martial arts. It depends. It's going to change on your individual situation. It's going to change based on your needs. It's going to change based on your athletic history. So it's a hard one to say, but whenever beginners come to me and they're not sure whether they should commit to once or twice a week or more, that's the answer that I give to them based on my personal experience and based on the experience through, Evade Martial Arts. Now, the next question's a more of a technical one, and this is from Dejan Dinov, and he was asking, great video, Marshall Lee. Cheers, buddy. Now, question, I got a problem retracting my leg back after I kick. It's kind of slow, and I feel my legs are being heavy. Beside that, I'm stretching, so what do you think? More stretching and practicing the kicks, would that help? Now, that's not uncommon, actually. That's quite a common problem people have is, you can throw the leg out, you can perform the start of the kick, you can hit the target, but if you miss, or if you're trying to throw multiple kicks, you don't always have the control to keep that leg up after you retract the kick. It's not always a case of stretching. People think, I have trouble with my flexibility, so I'll stretch. That will automatically, make me better at kicking. It's not always true. If someone does have problems with, range of movement, you can, stretching is more important, if you've got problems with your joints and you want to increase the range of movement, safely, of course. But people who have absolutely fine and healthy range of movement, you don't need to waste time stretching. So it depends on your situation. Speak to your coach, speak to your doctor, see what they have to say. But the advice I usually give to people, and what fixes most people's kicks when they have a problem with the retraction, is to do slow kicking drills. Not to overly stretch, but to strengthen your body. It's usually something like a weak lower back, or it could be a weak hip flexor. You're not used to holding your leg up and away from the body. It can be very tiring. So, you can throw the leg out, but it lacks the snap to come back. It's the equivalent of throwing a punch and it dropping, really, instead of pop, pop and bringing it back. So I've got a few videos on this already. I'll link one of them below in the comments section for a nice simple kicking drill for you to do. But it's essentially, you're going to use something to just remove the balance aspect of the kick. So yeah, practice more of the kicks, but remove the balance aspect while you can work on the chamber and the re-chamber of the kick. So a very common way in Taekwondo or, in sport kickboxing is to just hold on to something like the wall, put your hand on something like a banister or something that's steady, and just to hold your chamber in the air, slowly extend the kick for a few seconds and bring it back. You can do this 3 or 4 times, change legs, and every day add a few more. Eventually, hold it for 4 seconds, hold your leg straight for 4, bring it back for 4. And what this will do is it will strengthen all the muscles that are involved in that movement. Okay, it's not going to make you quicker, but it's going to make those muscles stronger through that range of movement. It's a very specific way to train. It's not really going to transfer into anything else. So I would say if you're stretching and it's helping, don't stop. But stretching might not be the answer. Strengthening is probably the answer. So keep kicking, because that's just going to make you better at kicking. Video yourself. People find that very helpful. You can go back and look at it. You can also show it to your coach if you've been training on your own. Turn up if you got 2 minutes to watch my kicks, or book a private lesson with your coach and use a little bit of that time to just really focus on the re-chamber and really get that snapping, really get that popping back. But this isn't an uncommon thing. As I say, I've got a video sort of on this subject already, but I'll make one that's a bit more specific. So look for that in the next week or two, a nice kicking drill. I'll bring my older videos back up to date. Now, as always, I hope everyone who's watching is having a great day, and I hope that your training is going really well. Like I said at the start, leave your questions below, because I love to chat to people about training, and I'll pick out some of those questions and I'll make them into the next Q&A video. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.